Hey everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada, and you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. A minute or so late today, I kind of got busy at my computer and didn't realize what time it was. So anyway, I'm here. And I am doing a sketch challenge today. So if you got my newsletter this morning, you will have seen this sketch. I didn't do this sketch this time. Normally, I design my own sketches and share them with you. But this one is a sketch that was created by Chris, I believe her last name is Posey, who is part of a blog hop that I'm in. And so this is a sketch that we're sharing in a blog hop that's coming up in a week or so's time. So I thought I would use it today to make a card that I will share. So you'll get the sneak peek of the card, how to make it, but the measurements and everything will be in the blog post in a week or so's time. So I am using the Hobby Haven suite. I think that's what it's called. The bundle is called Creative Haven. The designer series paper is so much fun, no matter what kind of hobby you have, whether it's sewing or knitting or cross stitch or just relaxing or baking or plants, gardening. This suite is for you. There are so many amazing images in this suite. So I'm going to do something different. I'm going to make a card using the Everyday Arches dies and show you how to use partial die cutting to create a different kind of a shape. This one is an arch shape card. All right, let's get started. I'm going to switch over to my desktop. I think I'm over to my desktop. Just gonna make sure that, there we go, yep, I am. I'm gonna refresh that so I can make sure I see all comments. Okay, there we go. All right, so this is the sketch that you would have seen in my newsletter. If you don't get my newsletter, you can subscribe by going to stampingwithmelva.com and a form will pop up that you can enter your information in, and I will send you newsletters. You do have to, one thing to remember is when you do subscribe to my newsletter, you will get an email that says please confirm your email so that the newsletter emails can actually go out to you. So that's kind of a second step. All right, so this is a sketch. Now I am using this more about the layout of it than the actual measurements. So I didn't actually put measurements in this. And I think the way she designed this, it was intended to be like a regular card, a rectangular card shape, just the fact that the images are sticking out. So I'm going to do it just making it an arch shape. So this is actually one of the shapes I'm using. So that's going to be the shape of my card, a little bit bigger than that. So it's going to look a little bit different because it's not rectangular. So let's get started. So I am using the Everyday Arches dies. And then this is the Creative Haven bundle. The only thing I'm using out of this bundle is this You Deserve All the Good Things. This is the stamp that I'm, this for the sentiment. What I am using is this So Fun designer series paper. So like I said, no matter what kind of hobby you have, there is a piece of designer series paper for you. So this one is for those that love baking, anything in the kitchen. There's an espresso machine, all sorts of things. And on the other side, I'm using this for mine. I've got a garden green background. And then this is the one for this. I don't know, this could be for plants, this could be for garden, it could be just be for relaxing and reading. I've already gone ahead and cut out one of the images from this that's going to go on. And the other side of this, I used this the other day, this petal pink color. Now there are two sheets of ephemera that you can use. I'm going to use, actually I'm not using any. I love this one. This is kind of cool with all sorts of things for taking a little extra care of yourself. But lots of things, lots of images that you can just pop out and use on your card, including some tags. So there are two sheets of those. Let's get this over. All right, and then this one is for spa treatments and kind of taking care of yourself. That's that side. And the other side is just kind of some splotched colors on there that coordinate. Let's show me that one. this one. Oh, this is, I love this one. I was going to use this one. So this is if you love to read. This would be perfect for my book club. And on the other side of that is very vanilla, crumb cake, summer splash, Lost Lagoon. Showed you that one. And then here's if you loved sewing or knitting or cross stitch or all sorts of things on here. I love this one. I'm a quilter, and so this one appeals to me as well. All right, I think that's all of the designer series paper. So lots to choose from. Like I said, regardless of the hobby you have, you can find some designer series paper. Okay, so let me show you how I'm going to make this card. So like I said, I'm going to make an arch shape card. So I took a piece, this is garden green, and it's 5.5 by 8.5 and scored at 4 1/4. And so then I'm going to position, and take my 2 pieces of tape off. This is the largest of the Everyday Arches dies. So I'm going to position this die along that score line. If I turn it over, I'm going to position it so that that cutting edge, I don't know if you can see that. Let's see, there we go. So the cutting edge, there we go. Now you can see I'm stitching, is just outside of the score line. And then I'm going to hold that on, she says carefully. Okay, lift it up, and it's just on the outside, and I'm making sure that the top of the arch is fully on the cardstock. And then I'm just going to take some Post-it note tape and position those on so that it doesn't shift when I'm cutting. And so if I take this back to the back, you can see that my cutting edge is not going to cut through. That's what we want to have happen. Just going to position it. There we go. So I've got my cutting edge outside of that score line. So when we run this through our Stampin' Cut and Emboss, fingers crossed, it won't cut, she says confidently. So if I remove this now, so like I said, this is the largest of the Everyday Arches dies. So when I remove this and open up my card base, I end up with a card base that looks like this. And because my cutting edge was outside of that score line, it didn't cut through. Okay. Now I went ahead and cut out, this is the second largest of the Everyday Arches that I cut out using that garden green designer series paper. So that was on the back of the baking. Got some glue stuck. And so we're just going to take and adhere this to the front of our card. Okay, so that's what our card is going to look like. Now I cut out one, so if I bring in the sketch, you can see this is the sketch, and so I'm really using it as inspiration. So we've got the arch, and now these I'm replacing with this this image that I fussy cut out from that designer series paper. And then now I need to use some sprigs or something, and so what I thought I would do, I was going to use some of the ephemera that had the sprigs on it, but this is the early espresso and old olive linen thread. And so what I'm going to do is, well, I'm going to use a piece of Terran tape, and I'm going to position it kind of like this. Actually, where do I need this to go? I need it to go up like that. Okay, up like that. And where's my tear and tape? And out the side. Okay. Sticking to my fingers. I don't have any Stampin' Seal. Normally I use Stampin' Seal for this, but I don't have any Stampin' Seal handy. But this, so we'll use tear and tape. Okay, so now I'm going to take, and I want this linen thread to kind of look like sprigs, and so I'm just going to take and zigzag it along the back of my, oopsie, zigzag it on the back, stick it down, there we go, make sure it catches. So I'm going to do just maybe a couple back and forth, and then trim it. So this will be my replacement for the sprigs, and you can kind of shift it around once you get that on. I'm going to use some dimensionals. This will also help to hold my pieces in place, using the last of the edge of my dimensional sheet. All right, don't forget to leave a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. If you like doing sketches, I love doing sketches. They seem to be the easiest challenge for me to do. Color challenges are second. Tic-tac-toes are in there as well. There we go. So now this is going to go just along there, and we can shift it, our zigzag linen thread. I'm going to bring it a little bit over to the, I'm not probably going to be able to, there we go. Okay. All right, so that's replacing my sprigs, and you can kind of shift it around as you want to. All right, so then the last thing we really need to do for this card is to stamp the sentiment, and I'm going to put that, I love the sentiment that says, what does it say? You deserve all the good things. So I've got a little piece of, so this is a 1/2 inch strip of basic white. And then I also went ahead, I'm not a stamp. I cut a second, this is for the inside. This is also the second largest size of the arch out of basic white. Trim that a little bit, okay. All right, I'm going to put that, it's a little bit different. Oh no, I think I'll go there. Okay, so I just want one dimensional on this end, and then I'm going to put glue. Oof, that's a lot of glue. That's a lot of glue. This is a brand new liquid glue, so let's try and take some of that glue off so it's gonna splodge. All right, that. There we go. So glue on the left side, and then a dimensional to hold up that. Now I did grab some. These are the earthy matte dots, and they have the early espresso, so that'll match my linen thread. That's the word I'm looking for. Let's put one there. And then on the inside of the card, this is one of the pieces of ephemera, and I'm just going to take and put this on the bottom. So I'm going to just put a little bit of glue. Could have cut some designer series paper, but as I was pulling the paper out or putting it away, I saw this piece and thought it would be kind of nice. So I glued it along that bottom edge, and now I'm just trimming away the excess. And then this can go on the inside of my card, like that. put the lid on my glue. There we go. So this is the sketch. I hope Chris is okay with what I've done. I always use sketches as an inspiration, as opposed to being something you have to follow exact. It just gives you some idea for a layout for a card. And when I saw her arch, I immediately thought of doing an arch-shaped card using the Everyday Arches dies. So I hope she's okay with how I decided to interpret her sketch. Now, the sketch won't go live tonight. Normally I post the sketch. If you, like I said, if you did get my newsletter, you would have seen this sketch earlier today. But you will be able to find this in a week or so's time when this blog post goes live, where I share the instructions for it. But you got the sneak peek of what the card's going to look like. All right, everybody, hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions, please reach out. Please leave a comment on my blog. Let me know where you're watching from. Tomorrow I will be live at 3 o'clock Pacific, and I will be sharing a technique. Not sure what that technique will be yet, but I will share a technique. If you have any ideas for techniques that you'd like to see, leave a comment, and I'm happy to do a live with one of those techniques. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me. Oh, before I forget, don't forget, today is Tuesday, December 2nd, and a few things happened today. The product of the month is a brand new offering from Stampin' Up! So in Canada, if your order reaches $100, you will unlock the ability to add the product of the month to your order for $5. And it is this gorgeous designer series paper, all in blues this month. So it is while supplies last, so don't miss out on that. Get your order in. Also, the last chance list was updated today, so there are some items, actually lots of things that were added to the last chance list, particularly from the latest, the September to December mini catalog and online exclusives. And so if you've had your heart set on some of those products that came out in September, make sure you take a look and don't miss out on them. Those orders, anything you order from their last chance, actually will contribute to that $100 that you need to reach for your order to get the product of the month. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me, and we will see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock.